This is 7 News.
Tonight, a petrol price shock. Perth prices hit a 5-year high.
Oscar Pistorius explains why he repeatedly shot his girlfriend.
The prank video that's enraged WA police.
Oi! And the shopping centre that's divided a city over its ban on screaming children.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Susannah Carr and Ardon.
Good evening. Perth drivers are being warned to brace for a fuel shock, with prices forecast to reach a 5-year high. Grant Taylor is at Caltex Mirrabooka. Grant, what can we expect?
Well, Sue, Caltex will be leading the charge tomorrow, ramping up the price of unleaded to almost $1.60 a litre at most of its metropolitan outlets. Now, that's a jump of about 16 cents a litre on what motorists are paying here in Mirrabooka right now. And understandably, we're already starting to see queues ahead of tomorrow's price hike. Perth hasn't seen fuel prices peak at $1.60 since 2008. And just like 2008, experts believe prices could keep climbing. $1.70 is not considered out of the question. Now, the advice from Fuel Watch tonight is fill up tonight or shop around tomorrow. Some outlets will still be selling unleaded for about $1.40 a litre. Rick?
Thanks, Grant. Prosecutors do not accept Oscar Pistorius accidentally shot his girlfriend dead, insisting it was a premeditated murder. The man known as the Blade Runner admits he fired his gun, but he's told his bail application he thought he was being robbed and acted in self-defence. An internet prank has earned 5 young Perth men a date with the courts after their antics sparked a major police inquiry. It's alleged the men staged what was meant to look like an abduction and filmed it to be uploaded on YouTube. Members of the public thought it was real and rang 000.
A busy Leederville intersection in the middle of the day.
What the?
A semi-naked man in handcuffs climbs out from the boot of a car and makes a run for it.
Oi!
Stunned motorists watch as the driver gets out and chases him. There's a scuffle and the pair are last seen running off into bushland. It was all a prank, filmed from multiple angles, the video then posted on YouTube. But for those who watched it unfold, it looked very real. So real, police were called, an investigation was launched, significant man hours were wasted until the hoax was finally uncovered.
Not there anymore, boys.
As you'd expect, police didn't see the funny side. The 5 young men allegedly involved were all arrested this week. They've now got a date with the courts on charges of creating a false belief.
The group allegedly behind the prank have been filming their antics for years. This one broadcast by Today Tonight last year. Most of it is just harmless fun. Silly stunts aimed at shocking those around them. But police say the abduction hoax crossed the line.
What the? Oi!
Grant Taylor, 7 News.
And you can see the video in full at thewest.com.au.
Peel Health Campus whistleblower Ashton Foley has faced a Victorian court after her arrest yesterday on a charge of breaching an intervention order. Foley was fined $1,000 and released by the court. WA's fraud squad is still investigating her activities while employed by the Peel Health Campus. No extradition application has been made.
Professional cage fighters say changes to the law will put them at higher risk of injury. In a fortnight, mixed martial arts in WA will only be allowed in boxing rings, not cages. Full-body combat competitors say that could mean they'll get seriously hurt. And this report does not contain any cage fighting.
A former senior public servant claims the Barnett government has a secret plan to sell off Western Power if it wins the next election. A sale would raise billions of dollars for the government, but would also push up power prices. Jeff Parry reports. Nurses have been asked but not ordered to reopen 1 in 5 public hospital beds closed because of a pay dispute. The Industrial Relations Commission made the recommendation after 4 hours of crisis talks between the Australian Nursing Federation and the state government. Nurses want a 15% pay rise over 3 years and say they won't call a mass meeting to discuss lifting the bans unless they have an offer.
I will not say open up the beds. What we will do is look at individual cases to see where we can possibly give some relief.
They refuse or don't comply with those recommendations, we will be seeking orders.
Crisis talks may continue tonight.
A controversial politician who's linked Islam with violence and pedophilia has arrived in Perth despite local hotels refusing to host him. Geert Wilders is tonight in hiding in a secret location after police escorted him from the airport. Jessica van der End reports.
An alleged hoon accused of upstaging one of the Premier's election announcements by doing a burnout has faced court. Last Friday, Colin Barnett had pledged 720 new police officers over 4 years when the motorbike rider allegedly mounted the curb and skidded across the lawn. It's alleged the rider sped from the scene, chased by police. The Butler man is tonight in custody and will face court again later this month. He's also been charged over an attempted armed robbery.
A shopping centre is considering banning noisy children from its playground. The centre manager says staff and customers are fed up with screaming kids and they'll no longer be tolerated.
It was called the Dash Under the Ash, a mission to save the life of a Perth baby who needed emergency heart surgery in Melbourne. She couldn't get there because of a huge ash cloud that had grounded all commercial flights. Well, it's been almost 2 years and today Bronwyn Bevan was reunited with the pilot who took a risk and made that daring flight.
The last time Bronwyn Bevan was on the Royal Flying Doctor jet, she was close to death. Looking at her now, you wouldn't know how sick she was.
It's good to see that she's so well.
Yeah.
Remember when we did the trip out, how critical she was.
It was June 2011. Bronwyn was just 3 months old and needed urgent open heart surgery in Melbourne. But ash from the Chilean volcano grounded flights in Perth. The Flying Doctors took a chance. Pilot Steve Young flew the jet under the ash cloud.
We were at 18,000 feet, but at that point we would normally be at 35,000.
They made it to Melbourne and the operation was a success.
Might be a very different story, yeah. So without the plane, so we're certainly very grateful and thankful.
Today, the RFDS secured $6 million in sponsorship from Rio Tinto to make sure the Life flight can continue to fly for at least the next 4 years. The jet's first mission was in 2009. Since then, it's transported more than 900 patients, many of them critically ill. In fact, this afternoon, it has to fly to Darwin to pick up a woman who needs urgent heart surgery here in Perth. It's a service Bronwyn Bevan will probably never remember, but one her parents will never forget. Rob Scott, 7 News.
Up next, the wife of a star eagle on a mission to save lives.
Plus, royal critic. Why the Duchess of Cambridge has been dubbed the Plastic Princess.
And police hunt a man who let a toddler drive his car.
Bye-bye.
The boss of mining giant BHP Billiton is resigning after profit halved. Marius Kloppers announced that after 6 years he'll step down in May. Profit has fallen to $4 billion. And Channel 7's parent company, 7 West Media, reported a $109 million half-yearly loss. But Chief Executive Don Volti says the network is doing well.
We do more production, more Australian production than any other company in free-to-air TV. And I would just say that we see that to continue and just strengthening over time.
An Australian man who allowed a toddler to sit on his lap and steer his car could face criminal charges. Police have launched an investigation after video of the incident was posted online.
The Duchess of Cambridge has been attacked by renowned British author Hilary Mantel, who's dubbed Kate a plastic princess. But after visiting a children's charity today, there was nothing but praise for the Duchess.
Oozes personality, very chatty, very engaging, intelligent.
The talk of Kate's visit was also about her emerging baby bump. She's now 4 months pregnant.
A 700-kilometre bike ride for charity. It sounds like something an AFL footballer could handle, but what about an AFL footballer's wife? Tonight, Basil Zemplis reports on the partner of a West Coast Eagle who's riding for life.
Thanks, Angela. That's 7 News for this hot Wednesday. We'll have updates throughout the evening.
Thanks for joining us. Now, here's Monica with Today Tonight.
7 News, the pulse of Perth.